I'm Megan Fox with Storytime Digital Media. We are outside the village of Tinley Park, and tonight is the Planning Commission Board meeting, and we're going to find out what Amy Connolly has to say for herself, because today it was revealed that she lied to the public on Tuesday night when she said she had no idea that the zoning change that she did was going to benefit the Buckeye developers. And sure enough, a letter was brought forth today with her signature on it that clearly linked Buckeye and the zoning change. Today, this place is packed. I want you to see how many people are here. The overflow lot is ready to go. We have at least 100 people standing in line right now. Can you turn the camera around and see? Tonight is the night. The board that has made the bad decisions that have brought Buckeye to the community is going to be held to account. So it's going to be very interesting, and we invite you to come along and see what it's like in Tinley Park when the citizens rise up to have a voice in their government. This is Amy Connolly's letter to the Illinois Housing Development Authority. She said at Tuesday night's meeting, she was asked directly, did you know that the zoning change would benefit Buckeye? She said, no. And I'll show you that. I have the video. This is from her letter that she wrote to the Illinois Housing Authority. There is a requirement in the neighborhood flex zoning district for street-level commercial uses. It is my opinion that the applicant, meaning Buckeye, has addressed this requirement by placing commercial-type uses such as their leasing office on the first floor of the proposed building along the street. Additionally, and here's the smoking gun, the village is currently pursuing a text amendment to the Legacy Code to merely allow street-level commercial and not require street-level commercial for this area. She's a liar, because she said she didn't know. She said that the zoning thing had nothing to do with the Buckeye development. Here clearly is a letter to the Illinois Housing Authority about the Buckeye development, admitting that she knew. The date of the letter, June 19th, 2015. That was before the amendment was passed about the zoning. That is an illegal act. That zoning change was passed with no hearing, no public hearing. You cannot do that. It's against the law. What they have done is illegal. And this development company is going to have to pack it up and go home.
I'm going to address my comments to you, the public, because that's who's here today, and my comments really are only limited to the Plan Commission. I understand you're upset, and I think your presence here both Tuesday night and tonight show that. And I have to say that the process that was used to get to where we are tonight probably fell short of what we thought it would do. It fell short in terms of basically getting as much input as possible on all projects, not just this one in general. And I think that that was the probably the flaw and the shortfall of the legacy code and its adoption in terms of catching all of the steps that were to be used in the process. What I'm asking that the village board do is retain special counsel, subject matter expert in zoning, to review the code that we have in place and to provide counsel to the Plan Commission as well as to the Planning Department in terms of how those codes can be conformed in a way that best meets the needs of our public in terms of having both the input and the information necessary to facilitate decision making. I'd also like to ask that a group, and I will appoint 4 individuals that will be citizens, not commissioners, but citizens that will join in that effort and that will have an opportunity to participate in that process and that conversation with that subject matter expert, so that when we get to the point of presenting this to the planning committee of the board as well as the plan commission, that there will be a much more full input. And let me tell you where I think some of the challenges are in the legacy code right now. Legacy code is form-based code. It's a new concept. We're not terribly expert at that. We haven't done it that much. And as much as say, well, you adopted that several years ago, quite frankly, nothing's happened for several years in the downtown area. The result of the recession, it's just taken a lot longer for stuff to happen when it did. I'd also ask that the downtown area be looked at very closely, because I think there should be a lot of focus there in terms of densities and the other consequences that occur in that type of downtown development, which we want to be dense, but we don't want it to be overwhelmingly dense. And I think there's a balance there. And I think that the board needs to be familiar, and that's not just because we've got 4 new board members, but because, quite frankly, we as a board in total are just not that familiar with the requirements and what the areas are. Keep in mind, this process as it was set was basically to eliminate some government input, generally regarded as government intrusion in the development process. And it's unfortunate that there was a price that came with that. So we aim to correct that, and we'll get some subject matter expertise to make that more clear and to facilitate the board taking corrective action as well as staff having direction in the future. So with your input, with your participation, we're going to make these codes better and do what's best for the village of Tinley Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. For the formal aspect of this, my name is Jacob Vandenberg. My address is 17248 South Harlem Avenue, Tinley Park. Thank you for allowing me to speak before this Commission tonight. As Chairman of Planning and Zoning, I stand before you respectfully requesting the members to table agenda item number 2, the reserve. As I stated Tuesday evening, I am doing my own due diligence on the process and the transparency of this project. We should not allow overt and veiled threats to derail us from a proper vetting of this project. And Mr. Petroni, if you are here, I see again you are recording this. Well, make sure you get this on record. I am not asking for this matter to be tabled because of affordable housing, and I will not sit idly while myself and my neighbors are accused of improper motives. In fact, sir, I'm proud of Tinley Park and its residents. We are a diverse community that welcomes all. We provide services and housing for working class families and people that are in need on a regular basis. For you to characterize us and this request in any other light, it is disingenuous at best and despicable at worst. Over the past 24 hours, I have read over 2,500 documents. These documents are email correspondence between village staff, project developer, development team members. As a resident, I may say that I'm disgusted and appalled in the material that I have been privy to review as a trustee. I feel shocked and betrayed. While I am not a lawyer, I found the correspondence to seem, at a minimum, improper. Information such as timelines, exclusion of trustees from information, backdoor maneuvers and loopholes. The end result, all these maneuvers, the entire zoning process was circumvented. I was not allowed time to examine this project, and I do the job I was elected to do. And for that matter, neither were the Board of Trustees. And in my opinion, an uninformed vote is not a valid vote. It is clear that this development had no intention of ever building to our code. In fact, they question whether or not they can receive a variance without going before the board. It is because of this strenuous task of reviewing and analyzing the volume of data that I adamantly request this commission to table the item indefinitely. As an elected official, I have asked my fellow colleagues to place a moratorium on any legacy district development, and I have submitted my request to retain an independent investigator to review the events surrounding the project and the interaction with our village staff. For those questioning my interaction with the proposed development, including the zoning compliance letter that I apparently was copied on. For the record, this document was given to me Monday evening, February 1st, 2016. Upon my review, I do not recall ever seeing this memo. I immediately checked my email and asked the village IT department to search the server. They cannot find any evidence that it was ever given to me.
Wow.
As such, after the meeting Tuesday, I immediately brought this to the attention of the rest of the board and instructed the village manager to immediately conduct an administrative investigation into why. Ladies and gentlemen of this board, again, I ask that you table this item until we can fully determine what went on throughout the process, and we are able to adequately vet this project in accordance with Tinley Park zoning codes and the laws of the state of Illinois. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, Jake, you got a standing ovation?
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out here this evening. In light of what was stated by several trustees and the mayor at the village board meeting of February 2nd, 2006, I do not feel we are in a position to vote for site plan approval for the project at this time. This is not a denial. I'll repeat, this is not a denial of the project, but simply a motion to refer it back to the planning department for further review.
A motion by Bob McClellan, seconded by Commissioner Moylan. Secretary, would you take the roll, please?
Speak up. You stand here, sir. Commissioner Mahoney. Commissioner McClellan.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller. Yes. Commissioner Moylan.
Yes.
Commissioner Pierce.
Yes.
Commissioner Reedy. Commissioner Stanton.
Yes.
Chairman Walker.
Motion carried. Motion passed.
All right.